I'd like to call the meeting to order. Will everybody please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Paul,
Here.
Vice Mayor Hatton,
Here.
Councilmember Whitman,
Here.
Councilmember Starkey,
Here.
Councilmember Lewis,
Here.
Mr. Lamack,
Here.
Mr. Lewis,
Here.
Mr. Holste,
Here.
Mr. Sherwin.
Here.
Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. As you know, we're coming up on our orange blossom, and we always like to do the Western wear for the month of February, so a little bit of howdy and yeehaw. The first 30 minutes, if we need it, of the first town council meeting of every month is reserved for public comments. Speakers will not be limited to the number of topics. However, discussion will not be permitted on any item on the agenda for public hearing. When that item comes up, you may speak at that time. Speakers will be limited to 3 minutes to address the town council. We'll start off, and is there anyone that would like to speak this evening? Just come forward, state your name and address at the microphone.
Alexander Chorus, 4166 Southwest 66 Lane. Good evening, Mayor, council members. To begin with, I'm a longtime resident of Davie. I've been living here for over 40 years. I have 4 children, all of whom have walked or biked to school in the downtown Davie area, including Nova School System, McFadder, Davie Elementary. As a parent, I'm well aware of the dangers children face when commuting to and from school, and I've heard far too many tragic incidents in our area. That said, I want to raise a specific concern about the traffic safety program on Southwest 30th Street in front of the NSU University School. I worked on Southwest 30th Street for over 20 years, always obeying the school light zones, and all that time, I never once saw a child walking from the university to school. In fact, I venture to say that very few, if any, students walk in or out of that school. There isn't even a sidewalk that connects the school to the road that has the restriction on it. Now, I understand the school zone must exist probably by law, and that makes sense, but the need for increased enforcement in a specific location is highly questionable. So I want to know, why was this specific area chosen for additional enforcement? Was there a study conducted? How many children have been involved in incidents on that stretch of road over the past 20 years? The way it's been implemented gives the appearance of a revenue-generating measure rather than a safety initiative. Additionally, I'd like to understand why the school zone lights in Davie activate all the time, despite significant differences in start and dismissal times for schools like Davie Elementary and Nova. Another concern I want to address is the transparency and communication from town leadership. I've reached out to you, Mayor, in the past in various matters, and I've never received a response from you, not once. I voted for you in past elections, and when I received the notice about Saddle Bridge development, I was wanted to be part of the public process, and I was encouraged by that. But I did not get a response, and as you know, I'm sure you saw, many months later, I finally did get a response after all the meetings had already occurred, and I had an official letter that was supposedly sent to me and emailed to me that I never received. So I would like to, regarding the Saddle Bridge development, I've been advised that I can submit a formal public records request, so I'm formally requesting that copies of all notification letters related to the Saddle Bridge development in downtown Davie project, along with a proof of mailing, a proof of letter, and email response that I was told was sent to me, but I never received. I'll follow up with an email to ensure that there's an official record of this request.
All right, the public records request is done through the
I'll send
clerk's office?
Yeah.
Okay. And as far as the other issues are concerned, I guess Chief Kinsey, stop and get his number and everything, okay?
Okay.
And I'm surprised, because I answer everything that I receive, and if
never
I
once
don't
received an email
answer it
response.
directly, I send it to staff to go over it and respond.
Well, not even when I said I didn't get a response, did I get a response from you?
That's very unusual. I'll have to check
Okay.
back myself.
Well, The other time, remember I was talking to you about the recycling, and I had to come down here and talk to you about it. You were like, oh, you're the one that sent the emails. Didn't get a response. I had to come down and actually have an interaction with you just for a simple question.
I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you.
Next. Just come up and state your name and address.
Good evening. My name is Julio Tejeda. Address is 9001 Northwest 58th Street, Miami, Florida 33178. I'm a representative of South Florida Water Management District. Just wanted to come out today to introduce myself. I do handle their intergovernmental affairs, basically communications between you guys, the district. You know, we have county officials I also deal with and elected officials as well. Just wanted to basically come out, introduce myself. Feel free to reach out to me. I can leave you guys some cards with staff, and you can reach out to me. Any questions? If you would like a presentation about what we do, happy to do that as well.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
very much. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Hello, my name's Noelle Corris, 4166 Southwest 66 Lane. I just wanted to speak on the school zone signs as well. The posted signs list 5 or 6 periods of time that the school zone lights are active. It's impossible for any school to need that many school zone lights. And Davie Road in particular, there's Nova Blanche and there's Nova Eisenhower. Those schools start at 9:30. Their school zone should run from 9 to 9:30, but it's on and off all morning. And I think too that if people are looking at the sign and seeing 6 different times listed, or if they're driving down the road and the light's always flashing, they're just gonna be more likely to just be like, oh, this is just always running, and pay no attention to it. On 39th Street, nobody follows those school zones whatsoever because they don't make sense for the area that they're placed. Thank you.
I know we have some cameras that are up in a new program in the school zone areas, so I'll ask the police chief to look into that. Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to speak? Okay, seeing none, I'll close the public comments portion. And before I go on to presentations, I just would like to ask our attorney, Mr. Sherwin, who would like to make an introduction.
Thank you, Mayor. Jay Tomei is here related to item number 10 on the consent agenda. We are hiring him to pursue municipal and utility lien foreclosure actions. And he wanted to stop by to say hello, and he might say a few words. So, Jay.
So, good evening, Madam Mayor, members of the council. My name is Jay Tomei. My office is here in Davie, 6840 Griffin Road. I'm honored to be here. Also honored to be considered to have a continued relationship with the town, representing the town in connection to foreclosing on city liens that haven't been paid, that have gone through the administrative process, and in spite of that process itself, the homeowner hasn't paid the lien, and the next process in that episode of, or series of things would be a foreclosure action. So just wanted to introduce myself so you see a face behind the name.
Very nice to meet you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll start with the presentations. We have some recognitions that I would like to make or present to 2 of our employees. This is for Yanessa de la Cruz and Michael Marchetta, who played crucial roles in locating and returning a significant amount of money to a Davie resident. Would 2 of you come up? And as I explain this, on December 26, 2024, an envelope containing a substantial sum was left in the lobby of Building A. Yanessa discovered the envelope while leaving work and cleaning up what she thought was trash left on the counter. Ms. De La Cruz instead discovered the envelope contained $700. After the weekend, Utilities customer service staff requested IT's assistance to review internal camera footage with the hope of identifying who may have left it. Michael Marchetta, the IT security manager, examined the security footage from that day and determined that the envelope was absent when a particular customer arrived, but was present after she departed. Using the video and its timestamp, customer service staff successfully traced the transaction, identified the customer as Debbie Espinosa, and returned the money to her. Without Mr. Marchetta's work identifying the individual who left the money in Building A's lobby, it would have been impossible to make that identification. Moreover, without Ms. De La Cruz's integrity, the money would not have been returned. Ms. Espinosa remarked that the Utilities Department staff have always been supportive and polite, but in this instance, they exceeded expectations by ensuring the money was returned to its rightful owner. I'm very, very proud of the exemplary job that is done by our employees. And I have certificates of recognition thanking you for your efforts. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm going to take some pictures of that too, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Our second item for discussion or for presentation this evening is Mr. Pullman with the 88th Annual Orange Blossom Festival. Excuse me.
It's a tough act to follow, but I'll do my best. Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Town Council, Administration, staff, members of the public. Jeff Pullman, Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Arts Department. And tonight we're very excited to promote the Town of Davie's 88th Annual Orange Blossom Festival, Parade, and Rodeo as we celebrate the lead up to the Town of Davie's 100-year anniversary. We're working closely with the PIO office to highlight the 100 years of trailblazing here in the Town of Davie. The parade and three-day festival will again be hosted here at Bamford Sports Complex, featuring a kickoff concert on Friday evening, followed by the 2 days of festival fun on Saturday and Sunday, as well as 2 performances of the Davie Pro Rodeo at the Bergeron Rodeo Grounds. The festival will kick off on Friday, February 21st at 6 o'clock p.m. here in Bamford Sports Complex, featuring food trucks, vendors, and kids' activities, and Southern Blood, a salute to Southern Rock, will take the stage at 6:30 p.m. to kick off the 88th Annual Orange Blossom Festival, Parade, and Rodeo here in Cowboy Town, USA. The festival activities will continue on Saturday at 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. We ask everybody to enter the festival grounds from the main entrance off of Pine Island Road, where attendants will direct everybody to parking. Excuse me. Additional dedicated handicap parking spaces will also be available near the playground, right there at the festival ground entrance. Anyone entering the park after 10 a.m. during the parade step-off will be directed to the south parking lots, and since the parade has moved back to the park, a shuttle service will be available on Saturday from 9 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. with pickup and drop-off at the rodeo grounds. The Orange Blossom Festival activities include the parade on Saturday, as mentioned, live music and entertainment, multicultural performances, youth activities, our vendor fair with over 100 vendors who are already pre-registered, food and beverages, a petting farm, historical displays, farmers market, and of course, the Women's Club Strawberry Festival. The Saturday activities will begin with the parade, as mentioned, at 10 o'clock a.m. The parade theme celebrates Davie's centennial year with 100 years of trailblazing, and will feature the Davie Pro Rodeo as our grand marshal. The parade will feature local community groups, equestrian clubs, schools, youth bands, and more. And immediately following the parade, the festival grounds will open with, as mentioned, we have over 100 vendors selling handmade products, crafts, as well as some of our local businesses. And of course, it wouldn't be an Orange Blossom Festival in Davie without a petting farm and animal interactions. Historical displays, including farming equipment, will also be there throughout the festival weekend. In addition to our vendors, local nonprofits and community organizations will also be on display and highlighted throughout the event. And everyone's encouraged to visit the Farmers Bureau, Farmers Market, 4-H Club, Old Davie School displays, the Davie Area Land Trust, and of course, as mentioned, the Strawberry Festival by the Davie Women's Club. Festival will also include a large children's area with games, activities, and rides for all to enjoy, as well as food trucks and other vendors on site. And of course, we can't forget our police and fire departments who will be on display throughout the event doing the children's badges as well as other free giveaways and fun activities for the children. So on Saturday on the main stage is again sponsored by Seminole Classic Casino. And on Saturday, live music will be performed by Retro Sky, a rock band tribute, and Jay Valor, a country act. Community performances will be hosted by the South Florida Cloggers, South Florida Renegade Cheer Team, and Beach Street Studios. And then on Sunday, our main stage will feature Samantha Russell Band, as well as the Shane Duncan Band to close out the ceremony. Community performances include the Encore Dance Studio, Beach Street, Sundance, and Fushu Daiku on the community stage. And of course, the Orange Blossom Rodeo will take place, we'll host 2 performances, one on Saturday night with gates opening at 6 o'clock p.m. for the 7:30 performance, and Sunday, gates open at 1 o'clock p.m. for the 2 p.m. performance. Everyone is encouraged to buy their tickets early because we do expect sellout crowds, and tickets can be purchased online at davieprorodeo.com or at Griffith Western Wear on Orange Drive. So again, we're just very excited to host a 3-day festival here again at Bamford Sports Complex, celebrating 100 years of trailblazing here in Cowboy Town, USA, and we hope everyone joins us for one of Davie's longest standing events. If there's any questions, I'm happy to take it.
Sounds great. Always a premier event. We really look forward to it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now we're going to have a Davie Town Hall update. Kaufman and Song Associates. Phil's going to start it off.
Good evening, council members and the public. Philip Holste, Assistant Town Administrator. I'm here tonight to introduce Nathan Coker with Kaufman Lynn and Jill Lanigan with Song and Associates. They're going to walk you through the 50% design drawings for the town hall as directed previously by the town council. At the end of the presentation tonight, we would just like your direction to proceed in terms of a yes or no on the design that you'll be seeing tonight. The one thing I'll take note of is that you'll see, we'll be talking a little bit about the interior design, but since we're in a public setting, we can't show you the interior plans. That's something we can share with you privately, but for security purposes, we can't share that publicly. So just a note on that. So I'll turn it over to Nathan and Jill. Thank you.
Thanks, Phil. Good evening, Madam Mayor, Town Council. I'll hand it over to Jill in just a second. Sorry. For the presentation. I'm the project executive, Nate Coker. I just want to let you know, procedurally, it's been going really, really well. You have a great staff. We're meeting every couple of weeks. Everybody's been very, very collaborative. We work with a lot of municipalities. And anything we need, they're extremely responsive. Your staff, engineering, even FPL has been very responsive. So we're starting to go in for permitting, and she's going to run through the details of the actual site and floor plans. But I just want to let you know that procedurally, things are going really, really well, and we're really looking forward to building this thing later this year.
Not
Really
as much
excited.
as we're anticipating it.
I bet. I'll hand it over to Jill. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nate. Good evening, everyone. Again, I'm Jill Lanigan with Song and Associates. We're really happy to be back before you again and sharing some progress on the project. So this is, as was mentioned, our 50% design update. And I'll start with a little bit of an overview just to orient and refresh everyone's memory. To the left of your screen is the south and Orange Drive, and of course to the right of your screen goes off to the north and the rodeo grounds. The building is very much positioned, as you've seen it previously, closer to Orange Drive, so that the center of the site becomes a really nice public green space, drop-off area, separating the building from some of the parking areas. The parking is actually divided in two for both the public and staff by a pedestrian walkway spine that runs from the building entry to the north toward the rodeo grounds. Along that spine, there is infrastructure planned for events like food truck events, art festivals, green markets, and that sort of thing. So we're gonna dive in a little closer to the building and look at the front. The architecture has evolved in terms of detail, but is very much the same in massing and configuration as you saw previously. A couple of things to note here. We have added the shutters on these east and west facing facades just to improve or control the sunlight coming into those work areas and to give the building a little bit more architectural interest. You'll note, and we'll talk a little bit more detail about the front entry. It was asked that we evolve that to be more of a Western motif on that front facade. So we do have that portico further developed on the entry to the building. The form you see to the left in the image here is where the town council chambers would be, so giving that a nice presence for the public. Coming in a little bit closer, the building is actually raised up some from the green area and the walkways to give the building a bit more of a civic presence, a little bit more stately appearance. We have gently sloping ramps curving off to each side to bring visitors up, or the steps in the center. And you can see there a bit closer look at the evolution of that front portico with its Western design and motif. The intent here is for a visitor to come through that Western style portico, acknowledging the past and the history of Davie and the architectural character, and then to come to those glass doors and move into what will be a bright new modern lobby. So recognizing the past and recognizing the future as you come into the building. Moving out a bit into the green space to the north, we have the proposed History Pavilion, renamed in this iteration Cowboy Town, as was requested by council. This is a place where you can have plaques and information, maybe even video screens that share the history of Davie and some of your founding pioneers. It's a place where people can gather, take a break from the sun or inclement weather, or just a place to prepare yourself before you go into a council meeting or other town business. Going back up to a bird's eye view, I did want to share the sort of distance between that history pavilion and the front entry to the building. In between is this beautiful green space with lots of seating areas. And I'll point out those low walls provide spaces to sit, and they help to define the green areas and protect the landscaping. But they also serve another purpose, which is for security of the campus. They can actually help to prevent from a vehicular threat to the front of the building and to those green areas. So it's a passive security measure, as well as being something that helps to beautify the site. Now I'm going to take you back a bit. On the left is the design criteria package, the original design intent for the building, and to the right is what you saw in September. And I think the main comment there was that in the September version had gone a little bit too modern on that front entry. We wanted to warm it up and bring it back to that historical motif. And that brings us back to what we're proposing in the 50% design today. And that was, again, as a request of council. We also had a request to change the sign on the History Pavilion to Cowboy Town, which I mentioned. We're showing a couple of options here. I will note that these decisions do not need to be made this evening. We wanted to kind of share the design progress and how things evolve. Here, for instance, you're seeing an option on the left with the added motif of the rodeo horse, and then on the right with the more simple, just reading Cowboy Town. We can come back to any of these as we discuss. Here again, we're taking a closer look at the front entry portico. And one of the things that was previously discussed with council was the idea of etching the glass of that front entry with some horse motif. The one on the left, option 1, is actually the horse taken from the Davie seal. Up there behind you, and the one on the right, that more dynamic rodeo-inspired horse motif. Again, these decisions do not need to be made this evening, but we wanted to share some of that design progress, and we're happy to take your comments on that. I can come back to these, but first I want to just walk you through a little bit of the overall building. We're not going to share a lot of detail on the floor plans and things like that, as Phil mentioned, but we do want to just kind of share who's where in the building and how that's shaping up. We are on target for all of our square footages and the department needs, which is where we started the project. On the ground floor, of course, we have the public lobby that runs through the building from north to south. Includes the one-stop lobby area for customer service, making it really easy for residents to know where to go when they come into the building. Of course, we have the council chambers on this level as well, and the circulation up through the building. Departments on that level include the building department, community services, and the Chamber of Commerce. And you're going to see as we move through these plans, the purple outlined areas are actually multi-purpose spaces, so they can be conference rooms, break rooms, but really multi-purpose, flexible use spaces up through the building. So we move up to the second floor. We have engineering on the north end of the building there in yellow. We have code compliance toward the east. And the large purple area is your IT, where servers would be located and feeding up through the building. And then as we go to the third floor, we have planning and zoning, budget and finance, and human resources, again with some multi-purpose space near the core. And finally, when we get up to the fourth floor, we have the town administration up to the north, the town clerk and attorney to the south, and to that eastern wing would be the offices for town council. And just go over a brief timeline of where we are. We're getting very close to our 60% deliverable submission in just a few weeks on February 23rd. That'll be followed by the 90% deliverable in May, and then we'll be working toward permit issuance and start of construction in August of this year, possibly doing some early site work to get the site ready, some of the infrastructure like the FPL lines and some of the other civil engineering work potentially starting toward the end of April. And with that, happy to open it up to your questions and anything we can answer.
Very nice. It's getting very real. Any questions?
Yes.
What?
Thank you. It looks really good. I just have a question. There's a separate entrance for council?
Yes.
Or do we have to go through the front door?
There
Not that
is.
I'm just curious.
Yeah, there would be a separate entrance. Actually, a couple of options for that, that you wouldn't have to go through the main doors.
And will there be parking nearby?
Yes.
Do we have to park in the parking lot?
That was, if I could say.
I'm
We
sorry.
went through all this and we
didn't.
saw it, yeah. And the parking is on the side.
Okay.
And there's an entrance for us there where the parking is.
That's
And
fine.
then there's
Thank
an
you.
elevator to take us upstairs.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay. Anything else?
Anything else?
We're good.
All right.
Thank you very much.
We look forward to seeing you for the next update.
Yes.
When is that groundbreaking?
Just be patient.
Okay.
Excuse me, Mayor Paul, can I get a motion from the council just giving their approval of the 50% as we did on the 30%?
Okay. Do I have a
Thank you.
motion to approve 50%?
Motion to approve 50%?
I'll second it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? That's unanimous. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Our next item is Leona Henry, groundbreaking.
All right.
Read your agenda.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Town Council members, administrators, staff, members of the public. Leona Henry, Intergovernmental Affairs Manager. And today I have the wonderful opportunity to present to you the Davie Town Hall groundbreaking ceremony. So we're utilizing this opportunity to kick off the exciting Orange Blossom festivities, as well as tie in our 100 years of trailblazing celebratory activities that we'll be doing through November 2025. So not to go over what was presented just now, but just a refresher for those who are unaware of the Davie Town Hall. So the prior town hall facility, which was located on Orange Drive. That's where our main operations was located, and then we successfully relocated to Pine Island Park right here in 2022. Later on that year, we had our final town hall meeting as our closeout ceremony. And then later on that year, early into 2023, we did the raising of town hall. In 2023 to 2024, the bid for the contract of town hall was advertised and was awarded in 2024. So now we have the opportunity to go into something exciting, the groundbreaking for Davie Town Hall. So the event will take place on February 20th at 2 p.m. at 6591 Orange Drive. We're opening the event to the public, so anyone from the public is invited to attend. We're gonna have our cues, of course, you, Mayor Paul, our town council members, other federal, state, and local officials are invited. So the ceremony will take place, we have the groundbreaking that will be taking place where building B was located, and then we'll have some tent that will be set up and some chairs that we'll provide. Our program for the event will expect remarks by the mayor and town council members. We'll have remarks by the consultants, and then we'll go straight into the ceremonial official groundbreaking. And at this time, I'll take any questions that you might have about the event.
Very clear.
Yes, perfect.
Thank you. Rick, did you want to say something? Oh. Any comments, questions? Thank you very much.
Perfect.
Okay, moving into, it's like we've been waiting forever for this. Moving into the consent agenda, and we have a staff is requesting to table or for the public hearing number 26 of variance until March 5th. May I have a motion? Don't all rush at once.
Motion to table number 26 till March 5th.
Second.
You know, that thing, roll call.
Mayor Paul,
Yes.
Councilmember Whitman,
Yes.
Councilmember Starkey,
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Hatton.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Going to the consent agenda, I'm going to pull 13, 14, and 15. Is there anything else anybody wants to pull? Seeing none, may I have a motion to approve consent agenda minus 13, 14, and 15?
Motion to approve consent agenda minus 13, 14, 15.
Second?
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That's unanimous. Thank you. And we'll take all of those items together with 24. So we'll be doing 13, 14, 15, 22, and 24 together when we get to 24. So go into the public hearing. Number 19, Capital Improvements Program. Mr. Sherwin, would you read the resolution by title?
A resolution of the Town of Davie, Florida, approving a second amendment to the 10-year capital improvements program for the Town of Davie for fiscal years 2025 through 2034, providing for severability, providing for conflicts, and providing for an effective date.
This is a public hearing. If anybody would like to speak for or against this, you can come forward at this time. Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Council, is there any discussion? Okay, could I have a motion to approve in a second?
Motion to approve number 19, Capital Improvement Program.
Second.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Vice Mayor Hatton,
Yes.
Councilmember Whitman,
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis,
Yes.
Councilmember Starkey,
Yes.
Mayor Paul.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Number 20 is a second and final reading. It's a budget amendment. Mr. Sherwin, would you read the ordinance by title, please?
An ordinance of the Town of Davie, Florida, authorizing the First Amendment to the fiscal year 2025 budget providing for conflict, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you. If there's any member of the public who wishes to speak, you can come forward at this time. Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Does any council have any questions or comments? Seeing none. May I have a motion to approve in a second? Number 20, budget amendment.
Motion to approve number 20 budget amendment.
I'll second that. Town clerk, please call the roll.
Mayor Paul,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Hatton,
Yes.
Councilmember Starkey,
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis,
Yes.
Councilmember Whitman.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Number 21 is a code amendment. Mr. Sherwin, sorry, would you read the ordinance by title?
An ordinance of the Town of Davie, Florida, deleting Chapter 4, Article 4, Section 66, titled Excessive Noise, providing for severability, providing for conflicts, and providing for an effective date.
This is a public hearing. Anybody wishing to speak may come forward at this time. Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. See, anyone, council, any questions? No? May I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve 21 code amendment.
Seconded.
We have a second, okay. May I have a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember Whitman,
Yes.
Mayor Paul,
Yes.
Councilmember Starkey,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Hatton,
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Now we're skipping the next one and going on to 23, rezoning. Mr. Sherwin, would you read the ordinance by title, please?
Yes, Mayor. An ordinance of the Town of Davie, Florida, approving rezoning application ZB 24-089 kiosk properties, changing the zoning designation of certain lands within the Town of Davie from Community Business B-2 District to Planned Business District B-3, amending the town zoning map to comply therewith, providing for severability, providing for conflict, and providing for an effective date.
This is the second reading, and there's a public hearing. If anyone wishes to speak on this, they come forward at this time. Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Any comments or questions from council? Seeing none, may I have a motion to approve number 23, rezoning?
Motion to approve number 23 rezoning.
So I'll second that. Clerk, would you do a roll call?
Councilmember Lewis,
Yes.
Councilmember Whitman,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Hatton,
Yes.
Councilmember Starkey,
Yes.
Mayor Paul.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, let me just do this special permit, and then we'll go back and do all the Delgado things together. Number 25 is a special permit. Mr. Sherwin, would you read the resolution by title?
A resolution of the Town of Davie, Florida, taking final action on special permit application SE 23-045, the Islamic Education School, providing for severability, providing for conflict, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you very much. If there are any members of the public who wish to speak on this in a public hearing, you come forward at this time. Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Any council members have any questions or comments? No? I might have a motion to approve and a second on the
Motion.
special permit.
Motion to approve 25 special permit. Seconded.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Starkey,
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis,
Yes.
Mayor Paul,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Hatton.
Yes.
Councilmember Whitman.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay. Now we have 5 items I think we're going to be taking together. All of these items need a supermajority. These all went before the United Ranches special group, so we know that anything that goes to United Ranches requires a supermajority, so we'll have to take each one of them separately. Is the applicant here? I know Mr. Kalis is here. You
We got
gonna
Mr.
come up?
Kalis.
Is there anyone that needs a presentation on this? Because we've all been briefed on it, and I've mainly pulled everything so that we can have the supermajority vote, but there were two things that I had wanted to address. One was the fact that this impacts United Ranches. I was concerned that if by some chance they did not go through with this project, that we would have a situation where if the use changed, the United Ranches wouldn't have the opportunity to look at it again. So I had asked for a restriction providing for the reversal of the land use plan amendment if the current owner did not follow through with the proposed site plan. And I wanted to confirm that your applicant had agreed to that.
Yes, Mayor. Neil Kalis for the applicant, Dr. Delgado. And yes, that is true.
Okay, so when we get to the land use plan amendment, I have to read an item that will include with that. And I'll just pass that wording around so everybody sees it. And give one to the clerk.
Thank you.
And my other item was the animal population on the property. It's very heavily wooded area, been there for a long time. And I know, I think you said they've already done a survey.
Actually, I think your staff did.
Okay. What I'm concerned about is once you start clearing this, we're going to have raccoons, possums, just a multitude of animals that are not necessarily protected that are going to be running out onto Griffin Road or into other neighborhoods. And I would like for you to take that extra measure, if possible, to try to trap some of these animals and relocate them. I know it's not usually done, but in this case, I think that it's important rather than having them killed on the road. And because of the location, I'm afraid when they all start to scatter that that's going to be an issue. I also would like the trees carefully examined. This is hawk breeding time. The hawks usually breed and raise their young through March, early April, when they take flight. Other birds also are, but I'm concerned about birds of prey and the owls. Sometimes you have some large owls that have either hollowed out a piece of a tree where they are or a nest, and I would like that done very carefully. And I see Jason's taking notes, so I know Jason's going to take good care of that for me.
Yes, Mayor, it's very well understood, and our client is a doctor, and I would say that she would probably say, if she was speaking, as part of the Hippocratic Oath, do no harm. So I'm sure she will encourage all of the people working on her site to be careful
Okay,
about your concerns.
I appreciate it, and I know we talked about it. I just like to put it on the record. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, so let's see. So first we'll do 13, the site plan, which requires a supermajority. May I have a motion and a second?
Motion to approve site plan number 13, Delgado.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Whitman,
Yes.
Councilmember Starkey?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Hatton? Mayor Paul?
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis? Yes. Motion passes.
Thank you. Number 14 is the plat. May I have a motion and a second?
That should be read. It is a
Oh,
resolution.
you need to read the site plan too?
Yes.
Let me go back there.
No,
I'm
not
sorry.
the site plan, the
Oh,
resolution.
just the plat? Okay, go ahead
The
and read that for me.
A resolution of the town of Davie, Florida, approving a plat known as Delgado, authorizing the mayor and the town clerk to acknowledge the approval by affixing the mayor's signature and the town seal to said plat, providing for severability, providing for conflict, providing for an effective date.
Thank you. Now, where was I?
You need a
I
motion.
asked for a motion.
Motion to approve number 14 plat?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Vice Mayor Hatton?
Yes.
Councilmember Whitman?
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis?
Yes.
Councilmember Starkey?
Yes.
Mayor Paul?
Yes,
Motion passes.
thank you. Number 15 is the flex application. Do we need to read that as well? Thank
Yes,
you.
we do. A resolution of the town of Davie, Florida, approving flex application FX 25-008 Delgado Medical Office Building for the allocation of commercial flexibility in accordance with the Broward County Land Use Plan, providing for severability, providing for conflict, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you. Again, this is a supermajority. May we have a roll call, please?
You need a motion first?
What?
You need a motion?
I thought we just did.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Motion
Mo-
to approve number 15
Sorry.
flex application.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Whitman?
Yes.
Councilmember Starkey?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Hatton?
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis?
We're voting on the flex.
Mayor Paul?
Yes,
Motion passes.
thank you. Now, 22 is a land use plan amendment. Mr. Sherwin, would you read the ordinance by title?
Yes, Mayor. An ordinance of the town of Davie, Florida, approving land use plan amendment application LA 22-207, Delgado Medical Office Building, amending the town of Davie comprehensive plan by changing the future land use plan map designation of certain lands from estate residential to commercial, providing for severability, providing for conflict, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you. Is there anyone from the public that wishes to speak on this? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Now, prior to asking for the motion, this has to be included in the motion.
Okay.
This is, and you have that in writing. Prior to adoption of the town ordinance adopting land use plan amendment LA 22-207 Delgado, the landowner must provide a restrictive covenant acceptable to the town attorney and suitable for recording in the official records of Broward County, providing that the current landowner, Lingming Delgado, as trustee of the Lingming Delgado Revocable Trust, consents to a reversion of the future land use designation to estate residential if the subject property is sold to another party prior to the issuance of a certificate of occupancy for the development described in the site plan known as SP 22-210, no later than 15 days after the effective date the town ordinance adopted land use plan amendment LA 22-207 Delgado, the town attorney shall record the restrictive covenant in the official records of Broward County.
I have a question.
Question.
This is to the town attorney. Is this binding? Because I know that in a lot of cases, it may or may not be, but in this, to have something as a reversion, did the state statute change on that?
Well, certain conditional zoning would be approved. In some cases, it may not be. I know it's the desire of the town council to have this, and I don't see where it would likely be challenged by anyone. So I think it would bind the applicant to the restrictive covenant.
So,
Because they're voluntarily doing it, so who who would be bringing an action to challenge it if someone were to challenge it.
Correct, okay. So with that, should they also in a sale or advertisement for sale in the future ensure that that is also understood in any,
Well, when it's recorded, that it puts the world on notice. That's what recording does. So anyone who would be purchasing the property that's why we're recording it in the Broward County records. So again, as I said, that puts the world on notice that there is a restrictive covenant.
okay, because I do support it. I just wanted to make sure it had the teeth, and also it was very transparent to anybody in the future when they went to buy or advertise for sale, that they also knew that this was a part of it.
Well, that would have be up to the people, if it was being sold, to disclose that, so I think that's part of the law.
That's correct, and again, they're held to know what's in the public record. So when they did a title search of the property, they would come across the restrictive covenant.
And like I said earlier, I felt that since everything that we do that touches United Ranches, that impacts them, that they have a say in it. So if it changed, we would want them to continue to have that
Absolutely.
voice heard. So it's very
Absolutely.
important.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And just to the record again, that the applicant did agree to those terms.
Yes.
Okay, very good.
Okay, so now we need a motion.
Motion for number 22, land use plan amendment, and, what is that called? Attached, that you're attaching, what is that called? I'm sorry.
The condition.
And the conditions attached. Thank you.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Starkey,
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis,
Yes.
Mayor Paul,
Yes,
Councilmember Whitman,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Hatton.
Yes.
Motion passes.
thank you very much. And the last one is the rezoning application. Mr. Sherwin, would you read the
An ordinance of the
zoning?
Town of Davie, Florida, approving rezoning application ZV 22-208 Delgado Medical Office Building, changing the zoning designation of certain lands within the Town of Davie from general commercial business B-2A County District and general commercial business B-2 County District to community business B-2 District, amending the town zoning map to comply therewith, providing for severability, providing for conflict, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you very much. This is a public hearing. If anybody wishes to speak, you can come forward at this time. Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. No questions or comments, thank you. May I have a motion and a
Motion.
second to approve number 24 rezoning?
Motion to approve number 23, wasn't it?
23.
23 rezoning, Delgado. Is
No.
it 23 or 24?
24. I was
24.
right, for a change.
Okay, 24, rezoning.
Second.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Vice Mayor Hatton.
Yes.
Councilmember Whitman.
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis.
Yes.
Councilmember Starkey.
Yes.
Mayor Paul.
Yes,
Motion passes.
thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
This closes the public hearing portion of the meeting. You all want to put your orange hats back on? I don't know. Okay. We've acknowledged in the proclamations Black History Month for the month of February. Are there any board or committee appointments? How are we doing? Mr. Pullman is on his way up. He's got some committee recommendations.
Good evening again, Jeff Pullman, Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Arts Department. As it's coming up tonight, we're happy to present the completion of the utility box wrap program, which was the first completed public art program under the adopted public art master plan, which P&Z spearheaded a few years ago. So as a reminder, this slide is just a quick highlight of the approved artwork and locations throughout Davie. The initial project wrapped 18 boxes at 17 locations, focusing on major thoroughfares and entry points into the town. So as I move through the presentation, I'm just going to work myself from west to east along the northern border and then back down south and back out west. In each picture, I'm going to show the approved artwork, the box before it was wrapped, as well as the box after completion.
Nice.
So this is the location at Southwest 14th Street and Shotgun Road, Southwest 136th Street and Shenandoah
nice.
Parkway, or Southwest 5th Street, Flamingo Road and State Road 84,
I've got the flamingo.
Hiatus Road and State Road 84, Knob Hill and State Road 84, South Pine Island Road and State Road 84, South University Drive and State Road 84, Davie Road and State Road 84, State Road 7 and Oaks Road. This is State Road 7 and Griffin Road on the northwest corner, and then this is the southwest corner of that intersection. Sterling Road and Davie Road, we did, through the permitting process, had to soften the image a little bit, which is why it's a little more gray than the original design. But that was a requirement in order to place this wrap at this location. North University Drive and Davie Road Extension.
Thank you for those.
And this is South Pine Island Road and Orange Drive. There are 2 boxes at this location. And then Dykes Road and Sterling Road, Griffin Road and I-75 on the southbound ramp. And this is South Pine Island Road and Sterling Road. This was one of the alternate boxes that was approved by council because we couldn't execute an agreement with the other artist that submitted. But those are the
Nice
17
job.
locations, 18 boxes wrapped. So I will say too, the Public Art Advisory Committee has done an outstanding job of staying on task. We have, I believe, 4 recommendations to bring to you at a future meeting as well, based on our meeting earlier this week. But they've really stayed on task and done a great job implementing the master plan. So if there's
Really
any
nice.
questions.
Can I ask
Really
a
nice,
question?
Jeff.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Sure. How long does the wrap last? Forever.
So we anticipate these
Long time.
wraps will last anywhere from 5 to 10 years before replacement, and that's due to vandalism, sun wear and tear. But we do have an agreement with our vendor and already predetermined pricing if we ever need to rewrap or to have them come out and clean the boxes as well.
So they don't fade?
They may fade some over time, but they have a 5 to 10 year lifespan on the wraps.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Very nice, thank you.
They're very
Yeah, I
nice.
like
I
them.
love them. Colorful,
They're
adds
beautiful.
character.
It'll be fun when we do a scavenger hunt through the town.
Board and committee annual reports. Do we have any of those? No? Okay.
They were provided in the backup, but I'll be happy to email them out as well if you'd like.
Oh, okay. I thought somebody might be coming to present them. Okay, thank you. Oh, we have no old business, no new business. We have another cowboy council meeting on the 19th. And don't forget, we voted for CRA meeting then too, so we've come a little early. Councilmember Whitman, would you like to start us off with comments?
Sure, Mayor, thank you. The Silver Lakes Rotary Nature Park and North Trail, located at 5695 Southwest 52nd Avenue, is closed for active construction work performed by FDOT. The park will reopen on the weekends with exceptions of the North Trail. The park will be closed during weekdays until further notice. Regular updates on the progress of the trail clearance and its reopening will be provided through our website and social media channels. We advise the public to check for updates before planning their visit to the park. On February 6th, Thursday, is Coffee with a Cop at the McDonald's at 4295 Davie Road Extension from 9 to 11. Come on out and meet and greet with our officers. On February 8th, which is Saturday, we're having Grilling with the Chiefs at the Robbins Preserve at 4005 South Hiatus Road from 11 to 2. Come have lunch that Chief Kenzie and Chief Gonzalez will be preparing for you. February 10th, which is on Monday, Davie Police Department MILO Officer Training will be shown on Channel 10 News at 11 p.m., so please tune in. Last but
Past my
not
bedtime.
least, happy birthday to all the February babies. Thank you, Mayor.
Madam Starkey?
Speaking of February babies, I had 2 in the month of February, 2 children that were born in February, so I wish my kids happy birthday. Also, it was really a fun weekend for me, and we've got a lot of fun things planned in some of my communities that we're looking forward to. And one is a 5K, and I want to thank Jeff for coming out and meeting with the community to try to put those things together, so thank you for that. They're also doing Cars and Coffee, and then also in Park City West, they're going to have a health fair, which will be nice to see. And I didn't know if our police and fire department were expected to go out there or in Park City West, but I could send that information over. You plan on it?
I can send it over to you.
Okay, I will. They seem to be, looking to get some community input, involvement. And so I look forward to hopefully being able to attend some of those as well. I had the fun time of getting some tickets with my daughter. She won free tickets to Undercover Concert with Kiss Country. I don't know if anybody's ever done those. That was a lot of fun. If you get a chance to go to any of the events where you can win those free tickets, they pop up if you listen to Kiss Country. And, it's a fun thing because the kids all enjoyed doing the line dancing, and they had a lot of fun things going on, not just to mention the concert itself. So that was a lot of fun. And then congratulations to 2 of our family friends on their gender reveals, not me. Somebody laughed and said, oh, she thought it was me with gender reveal, but no. But our friends one's having a boy and one's having a girl, and it was really exciting to be a part of that. It was a lot of fun. So there's a lot of other things going on around the town, and I hope everybody is out there having fun. The weather is beautiful and the sun is shining, so get out there and have some fun.
Thank you. Vice Mayor?
Thank you, Mayor. I don't have too much. I have to thank, I guess it was HR who put on the award ceremony last week, and it was the theme of Harry Potter, which was amazing. I have to thank you. Your work was so appreciated. I know how hard you worked. It was great to see all our wizards on the walls and meet all the wizards and stuff. It was great. Congratulations. You did a great job. And I'd also like to say to everybody in the sound of my voice that works for our town, you guys are terrific. You work hard. You're amazing. I thank you for all that you do for me and for the other council members and for the town and the people in the town. And I know how much work is coming up with the Orange Blossom and all the hours you guys are putting in and all the things that are coming up. So I just want to give you my heartfelt thanks for all you do. Thank you.
Marlon?
Thank you, Mayor. It was a pleasure to see everyone last Friday. We all got to go over to Bid Whiskey for their big grand opening, and that was very nice. And I haven't been back yet, but I plan on it, and it was nice to see every time I've been by there that they're busy. I like to see businesses in Davie be successful, and when these businesses open like that, we don't always think about it, but these are small business people, and maybe not this one, but a lot of them that invest so much of their life and their life savings into this. So it's important to me that we back them as a town and we get to see them successful. And I also got to see everybody last week when we went to see Dr. Moon's inauguration there at NSU. And I'm getting ready to get a tour of something new at the facility there at Davie, because my family physician graduated from Nova Southeastern many, many years ago. And with Dr. Moon coming in, I don't know if people really realize it, but Nova is really moving in the area of research. And in the very short future, you know, when you're looking for an expert, somebody that's well-researched in whatever condition you have, it may be right here in the town of Davie, because this is the next big phase for Nova. And to listen to what these new people coming in are talking about and what their goals are for NSU, it's really, really, really exciting. And I think it's tremendous for South Florida, but especially for Davie. And that's about all I have to say, Mayor.
Thank you.
To the best.
Thank you. I'd like to, very interesting, we had a folk concert here last weekend, and I always like to make sure I go to some of the events where our residents are very involved. I just have to give you a funny story. When I go to any event, a lot of times people come up to me and say hello, and others will ask me for things. As one lady wanted me to shut down a party in the trailer park because the music from there was too loud and she couldn't hear the music at the folk festival. I just got, I felt sorry that she couldn't hear. I couldn't hear it, so, but I had to share that with you. I get them to turn on the lights, give me a key, open this gate, you know. I said, I'm here to have a good time. I'm not. But anyway, the staff always does a good job working these different events. There was a TV piece on today about the Old Davie School. I happened to turn on the TV around noon to watch the news, and there was Kim giving a tour of the Old Davie School with a bunch of school children, so it was really exciting to see us on the news. I want to remind everybody that the information is out on the mayor's scholarship, and a graduating senior, Davie resident, Davie School, can apply for that. And I believe, is it the fire department, is the department itself, or is it the, that's doing a scholarship? You know? No? Okay, I thought that there was something out there about the fire department doing a scholarship as well. I'm a little disappointed that our Public Affairs Academy never got off the ground this year. We seem to be hitting a lot of roadblocks, and the new principal had kind of promised to keep us involved and the community involved. So I'm trying to maybe sit down and a few people and rethink this, and even if a meeting with the principal would be appropriate, maybe move forward and hopefully get an early start to try to get this done next year. My last mayor's breakfast was unbelievable. I guess it was because I had a Vienna wine bar that people thought it was gonna, they were gonna get a glass of wine for breakfast. But I had 45 people come out for the mayor's breakfast. And we had, of course, Big Whiskey opened, and I've had dinner at Blackjack's Rum Bar. That's open now on Davie Road. We finally got at least one really dinner restaurant that has a very unique floor. It's like walking on water. It's unbelievable. So both of them have said that they have the parking and the room to do a breakfast, so at some point in time. But I've been rotating all around town, and I have my breakfast at many places as I possibly can. Now, this is going to be exciting. I have a special presentation. This is going to be our 100th anniversary pin reveal. In honor of the Town of Davie Centennial Celebration, we've adopted a special limited edition pin adorned with the official Town of Davie 100-year logo. This anniversary logo represents a century of trailblazing as we celebrate the town's original incorporation 100 years ago. Throughout this year, town events and activities will highlight our centennial celebration, and we invite all residents and visitors to join in these festivities. Here's to another 100 years, the Town of Davie. As these pins commemorate a special occasion and are a limited resource, and they're, when you see them, they're expensive, I was thinking that we might want to have a policy in place on how and to whom they are distributed. As we address this, we should also include the town's current lapel pins, keys to the town, and other special town mementos. They will not have special meaning and will diminish the value to recipients if they're indiscriminately distributed. So we want to make sure that we have some control over that. And I'd like to take this opportunity to suggest that we direct Mr. Lemack to bring back a policy for that. But that being said, we have our pin, 100-year pin. Thank you. I was gonna say, I don't know if you can see it,
Beautiful.
but it's just absolutely beautiful. It's gonna go on my hat. Gorgeous.
That is very.
Isn't that terrific?
Who designed that?
It's the logo.
No, did you do?
The staff did.
Oh, okay, well, they did good job.
Ariana did it. And this is the logo that we've been using. It's on everything. They put it in the form of a pin.
Oh, that's really nice.
So,
Good job, Maria.
what? Yeah, sure. She wants to know if it's real gold. Somebody once said something about, our business cards, that how many of those gold seals would you have to scrape off to get an ounce of gold? So,
We get a lot of comments on our cards.
I know.
They're beautiful.
This is beautiful. Thank you very much to everybody that participated in this.
Thank you, Mayor.
Don't thank me, thank staff.
Thank you, staff. Whoever. Beautiful.
Thanks Bill for making out the check.
Thanks, Bill.
Thank you very, very much. Appreciate it. Okay, Mr. Lemack.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to follow up, but just make everybody aware. In January, we did go out to Weston High School and we met with Principal Padura. And from a lot of our disciplines, when she was very enthusiastic about participating, but she was just asking for just a little time. She's got her hands full with the size of the school and getting around and doing things a little bit different. So we will continue to follow up with that. But we had a very, very positive meeting with her, so I just wanted to share that with you.
Okay.
The only other item I have is I just want to tell you our risk manager, Jose Lugo, who's also last year's Town Star Award recipient, now serves as the president of the Public Risk Management Association, known as PRIMA, of the South Florida chapter. This is in addition to his role here with the Town of Davie. Jose began serving on the board in 2022 as the chapter secretary for 2 years and then went on to vice president in 2024. I just want to remind everybody about what this Public Risk Management Association is. It happens to be the North America's largest risk management association dedicated solely to the practice of risk management in the public sector. PRIMA members handle risk management, safety, and insurance for local and state governments. They provide education, training, professional development, and publications. I know you'll join me. We're all proud of Jose for taking on this responsibility and for the work and guidance that he provides for everybody, but specifically for the Town of Davie. So I want to congratulate Jose, if you'll join me and just recognize him.
Congratulations. Good job.
And that's all I have. Thank you.
All right, and maybe I just backtrack a little bit. I was just informed Weston High School cheerleaders won a national championship, and I think I forwarded that. Maybe we'll have them here for a congratulatory event. Yeah, give a cheer, right.
I got a question.
What?
Once Mr. Lemack does this criteria for these 100 pens, 100-year pens, if we don't fit that criteria, do we have to give it back?
I'll bring you back a policy, and I'll allow you all to direct me if you want to make that decision. But I'll take that into consideration, no. No, thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Sherwin?
I don't have anything.
Aw. Is there any objections to adjournment? No objection. We're adjourned. Thank you.
Good night.